So it's been a couple years since I last posted, and I wanted to at least share my thoughts as I've gone into Evil Dead the game. I've gone back into it, and I wanted to share my thoughts on the demons, how they would rank, and how I personally view their strengths. Who's strongest, who's weakest, all that. It is very important to understand that which demons I view are the strongest or the weakest, or is going to be different from how other people view them. I would say the current strongest demon would be the Puppeteer. They have extremely fast basics. Their head toss, if you chuck it at the ground, it can do massive amounts of damage. While the Demi-Eligos, where the elites are pretty terrible, they're very telegraphed. Even if you try to duplicate them on like a point, they still end up running in and dying in a couple shots. And then you have Eligos. Eligos is a pretty decent boss. Not fantastic. You pretty much just use your surge ability, maybe run up and use the rocks, and try to do a hit and run. It's very iffy because sometimes you're going to end up getting 2 to 3 shot. Other times you can decimate a team. It's very iffy, but mainly it's because of how much the basics actually can do. They are very good at harassing, almost to Plaguebringer's level. If not even better, they are extremely amazing at bodyguarding downed survivors. I would say the second would be I would say it would be Plaguebringer. Plaguebringer is not a fantastic demon by any means, but you are constantly able to harass. You can lower damage of survivors pretty easily. The boss is pretty decent, and the basics are amazing. The elites are really only good during book, but the amount of damage that you can actually end up putting out with the basics and the boss is actually really impressive. The elites, they do a ton of damage on the book. You can heavy, the moment you see the second attack land on your heavy, you can go into your splatter stomp into the heavy and just keep that cycle going, and you will do a ton of damage on the book every time. All in all, Plaguebringer is good. They do a lot better when you prestige them, I would say. So, all in all, and you can block with the cauldron, even though most of the time if you put a cauldron on, survivors will run out of the range. You can block entryways with it, and it's pretty good. I would say next on a tier list would have to be Warlord. Warlord, the elites are amazing. You can do a 9-hit combo if you do 3 lights, a strong arm, 4 lights into the slam. The amount of damage that you can actually pull off alone with the Warlord is amazing. And that's not even having the axes or anything. You can cancel the arm rip by dodging before it's about to happen. You can dodge into a puke. If you are using Henrietta's Gat, you can grab a survivor the moment you're knocked out of that into the stumble. You can cancel it with your gas move, and all in all, very heavy damaging, really powerful. I went against the team today and I did actually really well with them. Most of the time when I play Warlord, I normally destroy. Then I would have Baal. Baal is a very pub stopper demon. They aren't fantastic. You can do a lot of burst damage, and you're good at fear. So you're gonna get levels a bunch. And the boss is pretty good, I would say. The issue mainly is book stuff. The basics and the elites do not do a lot of damage on the book. The basics do almost nothing. Baal can do a lot of damage on the book, don't get me wrong. But if you're going against a team and they have a legendary shotgun, or the hunter has an amazing weapon, and then the warrior is able to do a ton of damage, you end up just not having Baal for long. And then the elites are okay. The steel epidermis move is pretty good, but it's mainly the attack that has all the tendrils poke out. That does a ton of damage. It's telegraphed though. You're gonna get hits, but some teams you just won't ever hit that, and that's not great. But all in all, with Baal, mainly it's fear, and also you can't possess survivors for long unless the team's not great. I've had it many times where I'll possess a survivor and instantly get knocked out or get stun locked. It's very common. You pretty much need to possess and immediately get out as fast as you can just for the points. So once when you do have Baal, you can do a ton of damage. And of course, Necromancer is going to have to be the weakest. I love Necromancer. Necromancer is going to be the most popular character in the game by far. The Flawless does a lot. I think it's 80% damage reduction, 85 if you're Prestige, and then you get a massive bonus to damage. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot good. You can hold, I believe, 2 elite portals. Evil Ash can do, I believe it's a 8-hit combo. If you cancel into the resurrection move, you can do your 4 light attacks into the resurrection and immediately cancel with a light attack, which is really good. He, I believe, has the lowest amount of health of any boss in the game though, and really heavily relies on the Flawless, but most survivors at this point know where you're hiding in the Flawless. So yeah, and the basics are really telegraphed and slow. They don't do a ton of damage unless the Flawless is there, and the elites, they're good if you have the slam, but then again, it's extremely slow. It's not worth it, I would say. I love the Necromancer, but I've had it against teams where they will dodge every single hit you have all day, and you can't do anything. Their running attacks aren't great. They're slow. The war cry on the basics is the AoE attack. It's not worth it. The trident toss on the elites is terrible. And Evil Ash is good, but I mean, again, they're gonna try knocking out the Evil Ash really quick, and it's pretty common for him to get knocked out in a few hits. It's, all in all, he's not horrible. He has a decent book stage, but he's not fantastic. He's not worth it. All in all, I just wanted to end up sharing my thoughts. I haven't posted in a while, so I wanted to just express my thoughts on the current state of the game. Of course, there's a lot that goes into what people think are the strongest characters or the weakest characters. How I view one is different from how somebody else views one. It's just how the game is currently, but I just wanted to upload something because I've had 3 people in the past week message or comment on my videos or talk about how I used to post, and I just wanted to at least upload something just to get it out there. Alright, see ya.